Yeah. I mean, filming in the dark is always hard anyway.
Yeah.
So, like, you know.
You've got experience of that, have you?
Well, you know.
Raj, is this something you're not telling us?
Easy now.
Hey, welcome back to Boys on Film. I'm Phil, this is Raj.
Hey, hey, hey.
And we're covering, once again, South by Southwest 2022. Lots to get through. Today's film I haven't seen, but Raj has, so over to you, Raj.
So, we're going to talk about a film called Soft and Quiet by director Beth de Araújo, I want to say. I'm totally probably mispronouncing that.
I'm glad you did that.
Yeah. So, I'll read you the synopsis. Playing out in real time, Soft and Quiet is a runway train that follows a single afternoon in the life of Emily, an elementary school teacher. Emily organizes the inaugural club mixer of like-minded women, and she indoctrinates them into her sisterhood. When they all decide to move the meeting to Emily's house, they stop at the local store to pick up refreshments, where an altercation breaks out between two sisters and a club that spirals into a volatile chain of events.
So a drama, right?
This is kind of a drama slash horror.
Oh.
So what happens is basically it's a bunch of white women, Karens, getting together and having the meeting of the racist Karens, basically.
Don't you hate them?
And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's pretty vile, you know. And then, you know, these women are just like sitting around a clubhouse, you know, talking racist stuff, and you know, in their nice, polite little way, and then they think they're right. And
What a horrible life that must be.
yeah, and then, you know,
What a horrible existence.
and everyone knows that these women are openly racist, and, you know, like, so they get kicked out of, like, the church room that they're having their meeting in, and yeah, it's just, it's a very sort of light the match, see what happens when these group of women pick a fight with, you know, a couple of girls in a grocery store, and watch what happens. It's pretty horrific, actually. This film made me feel so uncomfortable, but I still had to, like, continue watching it.
I guess that's the point, though, isn't it? Because you need to feel that rage, you need to feel that, I don't know, disquiet.
And because it's like a one take happening in real time, so
Yeah.
you see them, you know, the end of the school day happens, and, you know, there's a couple of, like, racist comments that are made at the school. Then they go to the church to have this meeting, and they meet all the members. They start sharing experiences, and, you know, all these, like, subtle, like, little drops of racism coming out of their mouth, and it's just like, wow, is this stuff real? Like, people actually think this way?
Yeah.
And then they decide to move the meeting to the house, and they have an altercation. They get one of the husbands involved, and, you know, there's a bit of kidnapping, and there's the overtone of "we're gonna kill you."
Oh my god.
Yeah, it gets a bit out of control. And it was a fine film, but the end kind of fell a bit flat for me because it was filmed in the dark. And they didn't do a good job at lighting at the end, and I couldn't really tell what was happening at the end. You could just sort of hear it, which kind of made it a little creepy.
Was that deliberate, though? Because I think if maybe that was the intention.
Well, I don't know. You could kind of tell that it was shot on an indie budget. You know, it did have that sort of gritty feeling about it. I think it would have done itself a big favor if because that's a hard thing to do in real time and light it properly.
Yeah.
You know, it's difficult. It's not an easy task to be done. But if they would took like a little bit of extra care in the production at the end, so we could actually see what was happening. Maybe we didn't want to see what was happening. Maybe that's the point. Maybe I'm just being a bit snobby about it. But
Right.
I did talk to a few of my other South by Southwest friends who saw it, and they kind of said the same thing. It took them out of the film. So a great film, a very uncomfortable film, a very unsettling film for the first 3/4 of it. You'll be shocked at some of the things that these women are saying and doing.
So I'm kind of concerned about the people that are being antagonized. Is there much kind of clapback? Is there, you know,
Oh yeah,
there is.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
That's
It's like-
spoiling things.
Yeah, the people that you know are clapping back are minorities.
Right, okay,
You know,
good.
and and they think they're safe because they think it's just these white women just being,
right.
being Karens.
I mean, I guess because it is fiction, it's not necessarily based on real events, but this goes on day in, day out, doesn't it? So it is kind of based on real events, isn't it?
And it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. The interesting twist in this is like the main racist woman who's running the meeting and antagonizing everyone and, you know, trying to start her own Karen revolution. Her husband is even a bit like, babe, you should dial it down a level. This is getting out of control.
Yeah.
Or it's usually the men that are like, you know, organizing the insurrections and things like that. But in this case, it was the women. You know, and she even like demasculizes the man. Like, you know, you're just gonna lay here and stand there and let this happen. Like, she definitely wore the pants in that relationship. But, you know, it's just interesting to see it from that angle.
Yeah.
So this film asks a lot of questions. It shows you a lot of things that you might not necessarily see in a film. In the you know, I'd say like the 3/4 into it, it gets a bit horror element-esque. There's some torture and stuff involved.
Okay. So not for everybody.
Yeah, not for everyone. But if you like to maybe explore the subject matter a bit, it is an intriguing film. For me personally, the end lost me because just bad production, but this film is worth talking about.
And I think if it does that, I think that's enough maybe. Sometimes, isn't it?
It could be the launching ground for, you know, a better production of this type of film, or another film that takes on sort of the same subject matter. So I think there's something there. They just didn't quite execute it that great in the production.
It's funny, isn't it? Because, I mean, there's so much criticism about films like this, especially in the horror genre. I know you said it's not strictly horror, but it's obviously got horror elements. I think a lot of people would say, do you want a film about Karens? Because we see that all around us all the time, and racism as well. But like you say, and I completely agree, we need to talk about racism. So it needs to be part of the conversation. Absolutely.
So it's an important conversation to have. Seek this film out. If what I said at all slightly like intrigues you, or be like, yeah, I kind of would want to watch it, you should watch it. You know, you might feel the same about me, how I thought about the end. You may not. You may, you know, it's up for discussion. But
I was just thinking, because I wonder how other people would see that ending, whether they would agree with you, whether it is a fault or whether it's something that is how you perceive it.
Yeah. I mean, filming in the dark is always hard anyway.
Yeah.
So, like, you know.
You've got experience of that, have you?
Well, you know.
Raj, this is something you're not telling us.
Easy now. You give him a G&T and he's telling all my dark secrets.
Too many of these.
It was definitely one on my list for the festivals this year. It'd be interesting to see if it gets picked up at any more festivals later on in the year.
I'm intrigued by the way you've talked about it. So it's called Soft and Quiet.
Soft and Quiet.
Soft and Quiet. Let us know in the comments if that is your thing. If you want to see a film about Karens. So you're going to sum it up as a film about Karens. Karen's gone crazy.
Karen's on crack.
And yeah, don't forget to subscribe. We'd love you to get in touch with us as well. He says clapping your hands very loudly. Leave a comment down below. Check us out on social media. All the details down below. And yeah, if you've been to South by Southwest, let us know.
Cheers.
See you next time.